Hey, so I'm just going to make a quick video here. I'm losing light. Well, this is a 2024 Can-Am Outlander XMR, and I just wanted to point out a few things that are really cool compared to a Yamaha Grizzly, because that's the last machine I owned. Alright, so I want to start with how easy these plastics are to get off. You know, on the Grizzly it takes half a day to get at these things, but this, they pop off in a matter of seconds. And then the biggest one for me is the dipstick. This has a screw-in dipstick. The Grizzly had, you know, just the one that sits in there with friction, and it could pop out easily on your ride. Brake reservoir is right there. Super easy to get at everything on this machine. Underneath of the front cover here, there's your coolant reservoir. Super easy to get to. If you own one of the newer Grizzlies, you know how hard it is to get at that reservoir, which is located over here under this piece of plastic. You have to take half the machine apart to get at it. The other thing is this belt. Really easy to get to. I mean, it's a Can-Am, so you're probably going to have to go in there eventually. But a big one on the Grizzly is how easy it is for them to suck in dirt around the air filter. I popped the cover off on this one. Here's your air filter. It's getting dark out, so it's hard to see. But there's a... yeah, I can't see down in there because it's getting dark out. But it's a positive seal. There's a hose that fits inside of there. It's not like on the Grizzly where on the edge here, there's a piece of plastic where it can actually leak dirt through. This thing wiggles out of place on the Grizzly. This thing here, there's no way it'll ever leak past the filter and get dirt into your intake. And for a machine, you know, you spend a lot of money on one of these things. You don't have to, you know, worry about stuff like that. On this XMR, belt, engine intakes are way up high, out of the way already. Moving on to how this thing's actually built, these A-arm, really heavy material. I bent A-arms and I actually bent the entire frame on my Grizzly. Had to get that replaced. The other thing, this is stock. There's nothing under here. There's no plastic. Like on the Grizzly, it has a great big, you know, bucket under each side that holds dirt and rocks and sticks and all kinds of crap in there. And it just ends up, you know, your CV axles are spinning in there. Same on the front, nothing. It just has a little plastic piece here. I apologize for losing light here. But there's just a little piece of plastic on each side that protects the CV boot. But that's it. There's no big dish underneath it here that collect all that crap. The suspension is like way better on this machine than the Grizzly, just factory. I'll show you how these plastics go on. It's like so simple. They literally just pop into place. There's one. I'm doing this one-handed. That's it, 2 pieces of plastic on. You take the seat. Look at this seat. It's not like the Grizzly. It actually has a clip at the bottom. It clips in. So when you put this seat on, it stays there. It's not like it's going to pop off and you're going to lose it. I have my toolkit. It sits perfectly underneath the back here. If I pop the seat off, I can pull that toolkit out. It fills up that divot on these new Gen 3s. Works great. Anyways, I'll put the dash and stuff back together here. It's really easy to do. It's hard to do with one hand though. But I just wanted to make a quick video on a few of the things if you're on the fence for one of these machines. Oh yeah, this goes without mentioning here. Look at this. Snow plow for this thing. Really, really well built. It's a Can-Am Pro Mount steel plow. And look how it mounts here. I'm gonna have to grab a light here so you can actually see. But I don't know if you can see that. That's the mount for it right there. It just kind of sits in there on each side. Really unobtrusive mount. So it is right there. Super easy to mount onto this thing, and that's your plow clips onto it on both sides of the frame. Any of your Gen 2 plows will work on the Gen 3 machine. It's really neat how they did that on these. It's not like the bulky plate that you got to bolt to the frame and all that stuff underneath. So if you're running a snow plow and you're wanting to work, you know, use this thing around the farm for mowing grass, plowing snow, all that stuff. Super nice machine for all that. And also the low range is like really low. If you put this thing in low range, you could mow grass with this thing all day, like with a little pull behind rough cut mower. Be awesome. Whereas the Grizzly, it couldn't go slow enough. This thing will creep along, you know, 2 kilometers an hour, no problem. And the power, way more power. This thing revs to the moon. Not even comparable. So anyways, a couple things that I really like about this machine. I could get into some of the negative stuff later, but there's not a whole lot of negatives. A couple things, but nothing too bad really. Anyways, hope you enjoy the video. See you next time.